I swear this Germaine Pratt situation has more twists and turns than the greatest movie of all time. So, Germaine Pratt responded to someone on Twitter who says, I get a funny feeling Pratt will be a restructure, not a cut. And, Germaine Pratt responded with 3 Z's. Now, the concept of 3 Z's is sleeping, right? You're sleeping. Now, it could be meaning that people are sleeping on this idea. They're sleeping on the idea that he just restructures and doesn't get cut. And that's why he's still on the roster and he hasn't been cut yet. Now, this could all go bye-bye if he gets cut today because it's June 1st. Or it's the opposite and Germaine Pratt remains on the roster for the foreseeable future and this is just kind of how it is. Which, again, listen. The reason why Germaine Pratt wanted to be traded, he requested a trade because they wanted him to take a pay cut. They wanted him to take less money. So he said, fine, I want to be traded. You want me to take less money? I want off the team. Okay. The second rumor why he wanted off the team was because Lou left. And he felt like he played great in Lou's defense. He didn't want to play a new defense. Okay, those are rumors, by the way. Those are 2 rumors. Nothing is concrete on that. I guess you could look at it as this fact. This whole offseason, they tried to trade him. Nobody wanted him. The Colts didn't want him. And based on what I understand, they tried trading him for up to a 7th round pick. And still people did not want Germaine Pratt. So maybe that kind of humbled him a little bit. Maybe he realized, wow, if no one would trade even a 7th round pick for me, what will happen when I hit free agency? There's already a lot of good linebackers in free agency. There's going to be more after June 1st. What does that mean for me? Maybe his agent or his family sat him down and said, hey, buddy, I know you like to brag that you were top, 10 in tackles last year, but maybe you're just not what you used to be. And maybe he got humbled. Maybe he said, you know what, thinking about it, double thinking here, maybe it's a better idea I do take a pay cut to stay with the Bengals. Again, these are all hypotheticals. These are all ideas, okay? Nothing is concrete. Again, this all gets wiped off the face of the earth the second we cut him today. Or cut him this week. But if we don't, this could be something that does end up happening. Which, I don't know how I feel about it, right? Because I feel like as everyone here, I'll say everyone, not everyone, but there's a lot of people, myself included, who kind of just understood the whole, okay, well, he's done, right? Germaine Pratt's done. He's moved on. Whatever. Now we can focus on our linebacking core of who we have. Demetrius Knight Jr. Recently, there actually was an article about him, and he was talking about Joe Burrow. Talking about how he was a quarterback in high school, and Joe Burrow, he's picking Joe Burrow's mind to try to learn more and try to understand the quarterback position so he can be a better linebacker. And yes, he is practicing and doing everything he's supposed to do. And no, he does not have a contract, by the way. Demetrius Knight does not have a contract, but he is doing everything he's supposed to. He's practicing and giving it his all. He did say guys in college maybe hesitate with a call or a whole look to the sideline thing. He goes up here with a plan A, B, and C with 3 or 4 different things in mind. If they do this, I change to this. That's why he's great. That's why he's going to wear a gold jacket someday. It's instrumental to my growth and everyone across from him. Speaking of Joe Burrow, obviously, he's getting a lot of snaps right now with Logan Wilson. So, with all that being said, Germaine Pratt not at practice. Oh, sorry. He's not practicing. I believe he's at practice. Well, I don't think he's even at practice, but we only had OTA, so it doesn't really matter. Once mandatory minicamp comes up, I think Germaine Pratt will most likely be there if he's still on the team. If he's still on the team, he'll most likely be at mandatory minicamp. He doesn't want to get fined, obviously. Nonetheless, though, between Demetrius Knight, we got Oren Burks, who, when we signed Oren Burks, it was kind of understood that he would get some starting reps. That was kind of what the Bengals promised him. But if Germaine Pratt is still on the team and he takes a pay cut and he stays with us, then that kind of defeats the purpose. Because he's not going to get starting reps. Like, I mean, he could still get starting reps, but he wouldn't get as much, I think, as he thought he would get. Because behind that, we also have Carter. We have Moma Jangmita. Like, we have other guys as well. So, this is interesting. Now, one of the big reasons why we were going to cut Germaine Pratt was that $8 million cap hit. You know, you look at it and you're like, this guy's not worth $8 million. But now you got to start thinking, well, let's start lowering that cap hit a little bit. Do we still feel the same about Germaine Pratt and maybe a cap hit of $2 or $3 million? Do we, like, what number do we feel comfortable that, okay, now he's below this certain number, you know, okay, maybe it'll work out then, you know? At the end of the day, we watched him last year, right? Us fans did. And we saw him get cooked alive in coverage. We saw him get just absolutely demolished. Yes, he was great in tackling, but a lot of times the guy would run past him, and then he would have to catch up and tackle the guy. So it wasn't like he was just, 1,000 play wreck shutting down the backfield. No, he would get cooked, and then he would have to catch up to the guy and tackle him. So even at any price tag you give us, is he even worth it at that point then? Right? And at what point would Germaine Pratt go low enough that he would accept a low enough price that we would feel, okay, well, that's okay. That's justifiable. And then the last point I'm going to make is, was it Lou's defense? We saw all the other guys in Lou's defense last year just absolutely crap the bed. They weren't playing at a high level. They were having problems. It wasn't, amazing. Was Lou's defense just too much for Germaine Pratt? Will he look a lot better under Al Golden? I will say, even with Al Golden being amazing, and I'm very excited for him, I don't think that's going to fix Germaine Pratt's speed. Maybe he'll fix his coverage ability because you have a new linebacker coach, so maybe he gets working with Germaine, fix his coverage ability, but it's not going to fix his speed. Nothing will ever fix your speed. You're born with speed. You're not able to coach speed. You can teach him a little bit on everything else, but then it kind of comes down to teaching an old dog new tricks, right? Can you teach Germaine Pratt to a level at a linebacker position with him being, as old as he is, to play at a level that we need him to play at? Again, there's all these question marks. This is why this situation is now like a movie role, because there's so many question marks, so many building blocks that now we have to pull out like Jenga to see, is it worth it? Or is this whole Jenga tower going to collapse? One at a time, we're pulling pieces, hoping it makes sense. I don't know. This would be the next player on the docket, though, to take a pay cut, which would join Geno Stone, Zach Moss, and Germaine Pratt, and Cordell Volson for players taking a pay cut this offseason. Who's next? That's the question. Thank you guys for watching. I'll see you guys next one.